All right, guys, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today, we're going to talk about the rise of AI in real estate, what it means to you as a real estate professional, kind of what you can do to get prepared, and what you shouldn't be doing with it. If you guys haven't already done so, make sure to pound that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. That way, you see everything, and join us on Real Facts on realestate.com. All right, let's get started. So guys, I am not going to act today like I am an absolute expert at AI, but I'm going to tell you some key concepts that you can think about so that way there you're adapting correctly, knowing that this is a time in history no different than, say, the invention of the printing press or the invention of the industrial era. We're in a time of change where what used to work yesterday, yes, it still works, but it's too slow, it's not cost effective, and it's not going to do what you need to do to stay on top of things. So AI in general is the idea of a computer generating thought and helping us out. Right now, they're not really generating thought as much as they're analyzing data and putting it together in a way that makes sense to us. So when we type into a AI type machine or we put information in, it's taking and cross-referencing other data and giving back data. Singularity, which is when a computer actually makes up thought, is a scary process where the computer could forever continue to build itself and do its own thing. We're not talking about that today, though. We're talking about AI as we know it today, which a lot of you, most of you, honestly probably only know it as maybe ChatGPT or some of the other simple things like that. But there are so many tools out there, and every single company is getting into it, from Microsoft all the way down to the CRM systems you're using. And it's important you understand how to use it and why to use it. So today, I wanted to talk to you just about a couple different ones that are kind of getting cutting edge into helping people, and then talk about kind of where it's going. So with the one right now that most people are using, which is called ChatGPT, that's the one where you can put in information very similar to like a Google query, but instead you get out material. So you could tell it to write you a blog, you could tell it to write you research, you could tell it to analyze data, you could tell it to write code for a computer. Anything and everything that you can think of, you can tell this machine to come up with something for you. Now, one of the things that I've noticed in all these different machine learning type atmospheres, people go in and they treat it like Google. They type in just one simple sentence, whatever the chat machine spits out at them, they take it as the truth and the perfect answer. The truth is, these machines are not perfect. They're really just generating things off of what they know, not generating new thought. So what you need to do when working with these things is make sure to audit what you're putting out, because at the end of the day, it's going out under your name and under you. So it's very important that it sounds like you, looks like you, and that you believe in what it says. Because to send out the wrong message, to send out somebody else's message that you don't even believe in, is wrong, and you're going to get caught and you're going to end up losing customers. So while these machines can actually speed everything up, they can slow a lot of people down as well. So one of the things that I want to say, probably the number one thing to watch out for with these things, would be the idea of being lazy. Guys, if you're lazy with your ChatGPT prompts, you're going to get lazy man work out of ChatGPT. If you go in and you tell Chat how to act, why to act that way, what you're looking to get out of it, what the outcomes are, what information you know so far about that subject, where you want it to look for more information, what information you don't want it to use, and that you want it to ask you questions so that you can further elaborate your answer, you're going to get back a far better answer than why are penguins black, right? So we can say different questions and we can ask it a simple prompt, or we can tell it exactly how we want it to work, what we want it to work as, and how it can work for us. This is no different than any of the AI tools coming out. So the little thing that comes in the box with different things we buy, the instruction manual, it's the most undervalued thing. And now that we're in the tech era, the instruction manual mostly is YouTubes and things like that, where they're going to give you demonstrations. Any of the information technology that you're buying, any of these AI programs or anything, make sure 100% to look all the way through the features, because a lot of them have overlays. A lot of these different programs do the same thing as each other, but they majorly market one part of their program and they don't tell you about all the other ones as often unless you look into it. So when you're working with these things, make sure to learn how to use them, why to use them, how to best use them, and then which ones are best for your business, because they all come at a cost. Some of them are free at first, but make sure as well, while using these things, especially the free versions, that you look at the licensure law. Who has the rights to the creation data that you're making? Whether you're generating photos, generating videos, generating text, Where does it come from? What rights do you have? And what kind of legal ramifications could come if you're just taking other people's work and posting it as your own? So there are real things like that to think about, not saying it to scare you, but just saying when you get involved with these things, usually the premium copies are going to be giving you the licensure rights to what you're generating. So I just went over a couple things, kind of skipped ahead, skipped backwards. Overall, in AI, most of you think of chat, right? ChatGPT, but then now we have all different other ones where we have, say, Opus Pro, Opus.pro. It's one where you throw a video in from YouTube and it goes automatically, finds the hot button items, the hot topics that you talked about in your blogs, your podcasts, anything on video, anything on a YouTube link, and then it goes in and captions it, and it highlight reels the entire video for you and gives it to you in snippets that you can use for future content, for shorts, reels, and all these other places. That way there you can make the video, forget it, just drop it in Opus, and out comes a great video that you can use for all your social medias. Great tool. Another one that I've been looking into lately is some of these different advertising ones, right? So we spend all this time trying to make square photos, we try to make long photos, we try to make them in all different displays, we try to make all different hashtags and SEO friendly and all this other stuff, where now they have programs where you literally load in all your assets, so your photos, the different beliefs you have, your texts, your manuals, and then you tell it what you want for advertisement types, and it just spits them out for you. So haven't delved too far into that yet, but another very exciting one like adcreative.ai. I've seen really cool looking one. I don't currently subscribe to it, but it's something that I'm thinking about and something that I'm aware of. One of the biggest real excitements to me as a real estate professional will be the idea of the CRM. So for those of you who use it, CRM, otherwise known as Client Relationship Management Software, is the best. I mean, it's your digital brain. It's how you can grow as an agent without having to think about too much. It's like there's so many different things that you can focus on, and it will remind you to contact people. It will reach out to people. It'll constantly keep all the information up to date for you. Well, now that we're getting into a lot of this AI and predictive learning and things, these programs are going to be able to help you know when to reach out to people, why to reach out to people, the content to reach out to the people with, in order to basically nurture and then convert at a much higher level. So pay attention to what your CRM is currently offering and make sure to just kind of play with it. Guys, a YouTube a night will honestly be enough, but if you can study more often, it's really important. Overall, in my experiences as a business person, one thing I know is every time I take time to learn, I'm saving myself time or I'm making myself more valuable as an individual. With AI coming, I can tell you, this is exactly like the printing press. The naysayers are out there. They're like, AI will never replace me. Well, if you work in marketing, you might want to worry. You might want to think, how do I adapt to this? If you work in real estate, you might want to worry. If you're a writer, you might want to worry. If you're a data analyst, you might want to worry. I'm not telling you to worry in a negative way. I'm telling you to worry your way up to making a move. Because if you just sit there and say, oh, this won't happen, that won't happen, it's already too late. There are so many advancements every single day that you'd have to be a rocket scientist to keep up with it, and you probably have to be a bot to honestly read the amount of content that comes out every day, because there are movie generators, there are sound generators, there are word generators, there are blog generators, there are people that generate all these different articles, there are science generators, there are generators of data and analysts that do it without even a single thought. It's just a computer doing it, that do it 1,000 times better than the human. The big difference between the way I feel and a lot of people feel about this, though, is it's not going to replace you. It's going to change what you do and how you do it. It's going to make less people do more things, which will always lead to new things. Like, think about how many people are working in the AI industry now, working on these different programs and products. So don't think negatively like AI is just going to ruin the world and I'm not going to have a job. Well, it might change the way we work. The people who learn to work with it are the ones who are going to find the most success. Some of the things that I look the most forward to with real estate, excuse me, sorry about that. One of the things I look the most forward to with real estate and AI would be the idea of like some of the different predictive modeling, understanding like what investment properties stand out the most. Like back in the day, we would have to do all sorts of long form math. Now there'll be programs you can throw houses through. It'll look and analyze the local square footages. It'll look and analyze the future predictions of the market, and it'll give you information so quickly. Or the idea of virtual staging. Right now, it's pretty corny, right? A lot of the digital staging, it looks like you live in Sims world. It doesn't look like a nice house. It doesn't really look that great. I won't give it that much credit. But come soon, it'll look like you can sit there. I know way back in the day, some of the companies invested. I want to say that Sotheby's was one of them. They had a VR home tour where you could go in the home and you could put your VR glasses on and you could look around and see the furniture. And a lot of people laughed and everything, but I'd say as a large company like them, it was the right play, because by the time that technology hits, theirs will be 10, 15, 20 years old and be the top of the line one because they got involved early. That's the thing about these technologies, right? Is you might not do it perfect today. Like say a YouTube video, whatever, you try to make a channel. You're worried about perfect. You're not going to do it perfect today. But if you start today and every single day you think to yourself, how do I just do 1% better? How do I just do 1% better? You're going to be an animal at something in no time. So by adapting into this AI technology, whether it be learning how to do the virtual home tours, learning how to use these analytical data, learning how to use the marketing tools, learning how to generate podcasts and helpful, useful PDFs for people, and trying to help people learn different guides towards moving and giving them so much value in real estate, you're really going to be cutting edge. And that's why, to me, the rise of AI in real estate is really about the idea of we got to learn to adapt. There will not be as many real estate agents in the business, in my opinion, in the future moving forward, because there'll be more agents using this type of technology replacing others, which means that chances are in the long run, whether we like it or not, commissions will probably lower because the agents are doing more volume that is successful, which allows them to do more volume for less money and still make more money than you are, unless you're taking on these types of technologies. Because I can tell you, I personally, I've always written my own content, guys. Like I write 99.9%, and I also freelance podcasts just like this. I come right out of my heart and I give it to you. But now what I'll do is I'll write all that and then I'll put it through and then I'll fine tune it. And then I'll fine tune it using a lot of the data and things that I've already worked with, but also asking it to add in some new. And then I'll come out of that and I'll read it and reread it and I'll keep tuning what it is until I get exactly what I want. And by doing that, I'm now working as a better me. At first I said to myself, like, oh, I hate getting into this, right? Because I write a book, I write a blog, I write podcasts. I mean, 250 episodes in, I've, 500 with the other one. I wrote all that. It was on my own. It wasn't generated by some machine. So I took offense at first. I'm like, why would I join that? Like, why would I want to do that? Like, this is so stupid. It's for people who can't think. But then I realized when you take your thoughts and you expand upon them, I feel like, jokingly, but I've become a bot because I've become so obsessed with learning. I put things in that I thought were right. I put things in that I thought were the right way. And then I compare and contrast it using all the right prompts. And the next thing I know, I'm so deep in a subject and I'm so enriched in learning and learning and learning that my content has become better for my audience and I've become better for myself. So I would say that integrating these AI bots and playing with them has actually made me become a more educated person. So by truly getting involved, like getting really involved with the AI and really looking and learning what it's doing, you're actually learning at a rapid rate. But again, be very, very careful, guys. Where did the data come from? What is the source? And is it the truth? Because just because a machine says it, it doesn't mean it's true. And that's one of the things that scares everybody because, right, everyone thought Google result number one must mean it's true. You got people who try to diagnose themselves in health conditions with Google and all that. Now we give them AI, they're going to run even crazier. So remember, keep a focus, cross-reference, ask where the references are. Remember on chat, you can ask it where it got the information, how to get the information, why did it come to the conclusion? Because at the end of the day, all these things are just bots and they're only as good as the data they've been served. So if they're served one-sided data, guess what? They can have a one-sided belief. Guys, AI is coming. It's coming for real. It's already in the world. It's being used everywhere. And real estate is one of the highest dollar volume transactions industries in the world, if not the highest dollar one. Why would you think it won't get involved? It's going to be involved at a level that you can't even imagine. Make sure to start studying today. Make sure to take it serious and know, I've got this. I only need to be 1% better every day. I don't need to be an AI pro, but I need to be aware, and I need to surround myself with people who are aware of what's going on, because this is the future of technology. If you guys haven't already done so, please make sure to pound the subscribe button, hit the bell so you get notified, follow the channel. I really appreciate you all watching this week. I hope you got a lot of information about AI. Look forward to talking in future episodes about specific products, about specific prompts, and show you more how I use it day to day in my business to grow. Thanks again. I really appreciate you guys.